Before the factory gives us faces, it gives us time. One by one, women pass a machine that records them, not as portraits, but as working bodies entering the rhythm of industry. Now look at the line itself. Some women move quickly, some glance toward the camera, others seem to ignore it completely. The camera does not follow any one of them. It stays still, and the women pass through its field of vision, one by one. We do not know what they were thinking. We do not know whether this was the beginning of the workday, the end, or a moment arranged because the factory was being filmed. But the image tells us something precise. Before we see the machines, before we see the factory floor, we see a system of registration. The women are counted before they are shown working. This is the first thing the film gives us. Not a biography, not a portrait, but a line of workers passing through industrial time. This is Westinghouse Works, filmed in 1904. The films were made inside one of the major industrial complexes of early 20th century America. They do not behave like modern documentaries. There is no interview, no individual worker introduced by name, no dramatic narrative. The camera is mostly still. It observes rooms, rows, machines, bodies, movement. But this stillness is not neutral. The factory is being shown as a system. Clean, ordered, productive, modern. This is not hidden labor secretly captured by the camera. It is labor made visible, probably as part of a corporate image of efficiency and technological progress. So we should watch carefully, not only for what the women do, but for how the film arranges them. Inside the factory, the body changes scale. A woman's hand wraps tape around a coil. Another repeats the same gesture, then another, and another. The work is small, precise, repetitive. It does not have the dramatic force of heavy industry. No flames, no furnaces, no gigantic hammer striking metal. Instead, we see the quieter labor behind electrical modernity. Coils, wires, insulation, tables, rows. The modern electrical age did not only depend on great machines, it also depended on repeated gestures like these. The women are seated or standing in long arrangements, aligned with the work tables and machines around them. Their bodies are not chaotic in the space. They are placed inside a rhythm. The factory turns work into sequence. One gesture follows another. One worker sits beside another. One table repeats the next. The camera does not follow a single face. It records a pattern. What may surprise us today is how formally many of the women are dressed. Long skirts, blouses, carefully arranged hair, sleeves, collars, individual details of personal presentation. They do not match the simplified image of the factory worker as visibly ruined by labor. But we should be careful with that impression. Their clothing may tell us several things at once. It may reflect ordinary public dress in 1904, the expectation that a woman left home looking properly dressed, even for work. It may also reflect the kind of labor shown here, precise assembly work, not the dirtiest or most physically destructive form of factory work. And because this was a filmed presentation of the factory, the image may also have been controlled. The company had every reason to show order, cleanliness, and respectability. So the clothes do not prove comfort. They do not prove prosperity. But they do complicate the image. The factory arranges these women in rows, but it does not erase every trace of individual presence. A turn of the head, a different blouse, a glance at the camera, a slight pause in the rhythm. These are small details, but in a film like this, they matter. Across several shots, another pattern appears. Women work at tables and machines. Men move through the aisles. They do not perform the same labor in the frame. They pass, inspect, supervise, or simply occupy the space differently. The film does not explain this hierarchy. It does not need to. The arrangement is visible. Women's labor is organized in rows. Male authority moves between those rows. This is not a theatrical gaze like in early stage films. It is not the intimate gaze of the studio portrait. It is an industrial gaze, a way of seeing bodies through work, time, and supervision. And that is what makes these images important. They are not portraits of individual women. They are not scenes of domestic life. They are not fantasies of leisure or performance. They are moving records of women inside a modern system. At the beginning, we saw them taking time checks. Now we understand why that first image matters. The later shots show what that time became. Hands at tables, coils wrapped in tape, repeated gestures, ordered rooms, supervisors crossing the aisles. The film does not tell us their names, but it shows the system that counted them. And for a few minutes in 1904, that system passed through the camera's frame.
Reading Frames now reads early film as a moving archive. Subscribe for more archival essays.